Hello, and welcome to Friday Reads, Saturday Night Edition. My name is Rowan. We Damage We is the channel. I have been putting off making this video because I've been busy out doing stuff both Friday all day into the night, and then now Saturday all day and into the night. I thought about putting it off until tomorrow, but figured it's even more egregious to do a Friday Reads on Sunday, so let's bang it out. It shouldn't be too terribly long because I read 4 books this week, kind of. I haven't finished the 4th one yet, and 2 of them I already made videos about, so I will keep what I have to say about them short. The first book I finished this week was Stoner by John Williams. This is a novel about a young man who's a farmer who gets sent to college to study agriculture but falls in love with literature and gets his PhD and becomes a professor and sort of lives this life of disappointments. His marriage is a disappointment. His career is a disappointment. His daughter is a disappointment. It's pretty downer, but it's beautifully written and has a lot to say about the love of literature and about the impact that we leave on the world, whether we sort of know it or not. So like I said, I did a full video review of this, so I'll link that down below if you're interested. Check it out. The second book I finished this week was American Sonnets for My Past and Future Assassin by Terrance. This is a poetry collection. It's from a couple years ago, 2018. It consists of 70 poems, all of which are titled American Sonnet for My Past and Future Assassin. The sort of back of the book hook is that they were all written during the first 200 days of the Trump administration, purportedly as a sort of response to that. It doesn't really feel like that's what the book is about. There are only a couple of moments where Hayes sort of directly addresses Trump, and they're some of the cringiest parts of the book, which overall I liked a lot. I thought this was a very good collection. A lot of it is about the experience of blackness in America. There's a lot of references to both black historical figures as well as poets throughout the work. James Baldwin comes up a lot, for instance. This poem is really great. This poem is about white women who rap along to rap music in their car and say the N-word when no one's around. He's really got a way of like cutting you to the quick with a line. I'm full of more water than a forest and the adrenaline of a spooked horse, but I'm a time lord. My armor is flesh and spirit. I carry a flag bearing a different nation on each side. I carry money, bearing the face of my assassins. Damn, that's a good line. And he's got that Time Lord. He's got the Doctor Who reference in there. So that's, if you're into that kind of thing. Doctor Who, not my thing, personally. I tried, just couldn't get into it. I watched like 2 seasons of it. It just didn't work for me. That's okay. So yeah, if you have an interest in poetry, definitely check this out. Stoner, I forgot to say, that's a 5 out of 5, no doubt. This is a solid 4 out of 5. Good book. Next, Serotonin by Michel Houellebecq. Again, I already did a video review of this book where I had a lot to say. If you didn't watch that and you want to know what it's about a man who is extremely depressed, dying of sadness. In his middle age, he has a shitty life where he's an agrarian, and he has a young Japanese girlfriend that he hates and hates him, and he decides to leave his whole life behind and go out on this sort of nomadic self-discovery journey where he basically vanishes and leaves his life behind, and then spends most of the book sort of exploring the women that he had chances at love and happiness with, and then lost largely through his own being a shithead. It's a book that I think wouldn't appeal to most people. It's extremely depressing and kind of masturbatory, and wants you to feel sorry for this rich, straight, middle-aged white guy who, has no real reason to feel as bad as he does. And yet I loved it. I talk about this a lot in the video I did on it, but I saw myself, much to my horror, in this book, and I felt like I learned a lot about myself through the process of reading it. This is Houellebecq's most recent book, and it's the first of his that I've read. I've got one more of his that I'm going to be reading soon. I'm excited to explore his oeuvre. And finally, the book that I have been reading for like 5 days and just haven't had the time to finish, Sorrowland by River Solomon. This just came out earlier in May. I'm reading it as a buddy read with my friend Kristen. More to come on that, potentially. There may be a full-length video about this in the works that we are talking about doing. So this is a sort of book that rides the line between genre fiction and literary fiction. It's about a young girl who is raised on a sort of black power commune that has been corrupted in its leadership and has become basically an abusive cult. And she's been, at age 15, forced to marry the cult's leader and is pregnant with his children. And she flees the cult to live in the forest and has these babies. And she's plagued by these hauntings, these visions of terrible things that are like dead people and wolves and things. And I don't want to give too much away, because I do think that the plot is like the thing that's largely keeps this book chugging along and interesting. But I'll give away as much as is given away in the jacket. She starts changing and becoming something else, something extra human, and because of that, and because of her desire to learn more about both herself and the history of Caneland, the cult that she comes from, she leaves the woods and enters our modern society and tries to understand and learn what it is that's happening to her and what it is that has happened to her people throughout history. So a lot of this is dealing with generational trauma, and you've got generational trauma of like Black Americans and the Atlantic slave trade, and the history of slavery in America. But then you've also got Native American trauma and like water protectors and things like that. It's got a lot going on. It's definitely a bit of a like I don't want to say it's like showing off that it's so lefty, but it is kind of a little bit. There's a lot of you'll get references to COINTELPRO and like all of the characters on the cult are named after like radical black historical figures like Stokely Carmichael, and it's got a lot of cool ideas and a lot of things going for it. I found the first half of it to be a little slow and dry, and I wanted things to start happening sooner than they did. The book's it's like 350 pages long. I feel like it could have been shorter. Um, but once the metamorphosing starts happening and she leaves the forest, things really start picking up. So, like I said, I've got 50 pages left of this. I'm going to go finish it after I finish filming this video. I like this book. I don't love this book. Um, I don't feel like you need to run out and buy it right away. But it's definitely interesting. It's got a lot of cool, interesting ideas. So, Sorrowland. All right, that's my Friday reads. I am so tired. So let's end this charade and go to sleep. How does that sound? Next week there will not be a Friday reads because I'm going to be out of town at my friend's cabin from Thursday through Sunday. So I don't know. I think I'll probably upload like a Sunday reads / vlog on Sunday when I get back. But expect videos throughout the week leading up to that. If I feel the need to read them. The next thing I'm going to be reading after I finish Sorrowland is Leaving the Sea by Ben Marcus, which was my result for BookTube Spin number 2. So there will be a video about this because of that once I finish it. So yeah, be on the lookout for all of that. Thanks for watching.